Hi, and welcome back to the Home Improvement Podcast, Season 2, Episode 5. Today, we are welcoming back Andreya, who has had a little bit of time off with family and to complete her own home improvement project. So, welcome back.
Welcome back, me, I guess. Lovely to be back.
Good.
That's the
main
proper response.
So this is kind of your first week back properly and kind of into it. You've had a couple of days over the last month, but this is straight back into to work.
Yes. Fantastic.
So how's the last month been? How's the completion come on? Is it complete? We genuinely haven't had a conversation about this. So yeah, tell me.
The kitchen is now complete. I'm happy to say. Painted, decorated. We're just waiting for the radiators to come on, but thankfully it's not yet that cold, so we're managing. Do you know what? If I never see another paint roller in my life, it'll be too soon. However, we're only halfway through, so I have to. So.
Okay.
Oh. But
you can live with plastered walls for 2 years.
Do you know what? I actually really like plastered walls. I think there's like a sealant or something you can get for plaster, right? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Am I making this up?
I believe there is. Yes.
Yeah, and then you can just like leave it in that nice
beautiful
pink color. Yeah, I'm really into that. I might do that in the but then I have to use a paint roller anyway, so I don't paint
True.
it. But I spent the last few days, like every second of spare time, painting and decorating. And I don't know how our painters and decorators do it because it's so mind-numbing, honestly. Because it's just like mist coat after mist coat after mist coat after white coat after white coat, and I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah. But I'm not done.
So other than the decorating, is everything else done? So you said the kitchen's done. Kitchen's in, complete, snagged, connected, functioning.
Yes. So our lovely fitter, can I say his name?
Yeah.
Eddie. Eddie came around the other day and he did all the last bits. Now we have our shelves up, like little things had to be done, like little panels and stuff. That's all done. We've even moved a bit of furniture in there, which is great. I was really looking forward to that. Our electrics are almost finished. Our electrician will be back just to do some outside lighting soon. And the builder is completely finished now. We're waiting for building control to come in and do the final sign-off soon.
Make sure you get your certificates.
Yeah. He's really, really into like being by the book. So I'm sure everything's going to be fine. I hope so. Who else is there? Yes, our gas engineer and plumber is doing the bathrooms at the moment. Our bathroom's being tiled as we speak downstairs. Must be finished actually at this point in the day. And that's really exciting. Our toilet downstairs was working already like a week ago, which was amazing. Not having to go up and down every time on our creaky stairs when the baby is sleeping. So yeah, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's actually feels quite good.
That's good.
It was tough for a while.
Yeah. I think anyone who is going through the process or been through the process can completely relate.
Yes. Yeah.
So when did you start your project?
I think, so it was winter. I think it was January we started, or was it late December, something like that, I believe. Okay.
So you're now looking at month 9 of what was estimated to be a how long project?
Oh, I think we were supposed to finish in March.
Okay, so that was what the builder had anticipated.
I think there was something like that. Now, generally, don't quote me on this.
Kind of 16-week build.
Yeah, something like that. But at no point was there like, things are getting delayed or this is not according, like throughout the project, everything seemed to be according to plan. But then in my head, I always feel like we should have finished a lot earlier. I think it was discussed, but maybe that's just in my head. I don't know. Anyway, It's been fine. It's fine. It's all well when it finishes as well. You know what? We get that with clients as well. We're like into the thick of it. Everybody's just like pulling their hair out and just spewing hate and just anger. And then when it's finished, everyone's like, oh my God, that was amazing. I loved it. Would work with you again.
But I think I'm going to relate back to budgets, because you look at the builders, this is a 16-week build, and you're like, great, we're going to be done for Easter.
Yeah.
And you look at your budget and you go, oh, great, my kitchen is 30K. That's all good. But by the time you've added on your stools, lighting, cushions, everything that you might need on there, the budget goes up. But that's exactly the same with the build, because it's like, okay, but now the kitchen's got to go in, and I want some extra shelves here. And while they were here, as you've said in the past, I asked them to do this. So there's that room now needs to be done. And you notice the other room that's tired. And
we changed all the doors upstairs, because the builders, they were like, might as well, they need changing very soon anyway. So we did that. And it just adds on and on and on. But our builder's been lovely, so I can't complain. I wanted to say something. I forgot it. Doesn't matter.
Sorry, that's because I'm interrupting. So
no, that's not true. I should have interrupted when the moment came, but I didn't.
So on the way over here, when we were kind of touching on what we should talk about today, you said that there were some things you wanted to kind of share. So things that you loved about the project, or I hope you loved, and things that you found really frustrating or perhaps would have done differently. By the sounds of it, saved enough in your budget, been able to find enough in your budget to have a decorator.
So yes, I was saying this yesterday to Eddie, actually, that next time I'm doing this, it will be when I'm rich enough to actually get a painter and decorator in, because I can't do it anymore. I used to love painting. That's the thing. I used to love it. And it's just when you do enough of it, it's like, no more. Maybe if you're getting paid for it, it's different, I guess. But that one. Also, lighting and sockets, guys, that's a big one. And generally, I had thought it through a lot. And I did put a lot of thought into it. In hindsight, maybe don't do a full house renovation when you've just had a baby. But now we have some like light switches that turn on lights, which are like on the other side of the room, and they're supposed to be night lights. So that just doesn't make any sense. And like the row of switches in the kitchen, it's all like different. It just makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm just like flipping like 4 different switches every time I want to turn the lights on, and then flipping them back down. So that was I think something that should have been a bit more thought out on my side. The electrician was great. What else?
I want to add into what you've just said there, because one of the things that we do is plan out the lighting and the switches.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that with us. No. I did that separately because I thought I could do it.
But clients will say to us during the process, oh, what about this? What about the switching? What about the lights? Where am I going to put my sockets? When they come to that point to say, yes, we're going ahead. And I always say to people, we'll do that when we're stood in your home, because it's easier to visualize. But also the people for us who do it day in, day out are our technical team, not us as designers. And it is really important to have that second pair of eyes of someone who does it regularly as well.
I agree.
And one of this spirals into a number of other topics, but when you are looking at an independent, you obviously feel like you might want to go and speak to the same designer again throughout your project, which obviously we're there, but we do have people who specialize in different areas to provide the best kind of service and finish as well. So yes, you can be an excellent designer, but you might just want someone else to cast an eye over it who also
absolutely. That's the thing when you hit those issues, and when you've hit those issues day in, day out, then you kind of know what works and what doesn't. We have a list of things like that as designers as well, but it's not on the technical side. And I think we communicate a lot, but also because we tend not to share on the issues as much. I think that's a better way to work as a team when they're, like things that are not working out well throughout the project. I don't know where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We all have these moments.
Anyway,
but kind of that crossover, the focus on being able to be creative and create the cohesive design and hit the requirements for now and in the future, as we've discussed so many times in the past, is one kind of viewpoint. You can't consider all things all of the time, which is why you have a team. And I think this probably helps you being on that other side thinking, oh no, I think about the lights and the heating and the switches and stuff, but just understanding how much further that can go and does go when we pass that over to the technical team and things as well. And we have a really really well planned out process of planning those things into place, which we should have shared with you, it turns out, beforehand, on things like the switches from things that we've learned and been fed back to us. Sorry about that. Just to rub salt into the wound. But it's hard when you're on maternity leave, you've got a young child, and those lines of communications aren't there day in, day out, and you're just making those decisions. But it's the same for anyone. You've got the luxury of being involved in the industry already, and having those insights. And I did the same with my own. There are things.
Did you?
Yeah, there are definitely things. And a light switch in the office / spare bedroom, exactly the same thing. I've got one on a double switch and one not on a double switch. And I think to myself, why on earth did I do that? Because every time I want to turn the wall lights off, yes, it's only a small room, because I thought, oh, they're only going to be like bed lights.
Yeah.
I get up and walk out the room and I'm like, no, I need to go back and turn the bed lights off.
Exactly.
Because that's the only place. Like you get in hotels. And how many times are you in a hotel flicking all of the switches?
Yep.
It's the same kind of thing.
Literally. So basically the same thing in our office / bedroom space that we're building now. We put this wall light. I was like obsessed with having a bunch of wall lights. I have 2, 3 now. Anyway, got overruled on a lot of them. But
he was wrong.
Thank you. Had this like one wall light, which was supposed to be a night light as well as like a desk light. Anyway, the switch for that is at the door. So now when it's all installed and done, we're like, so imagine you're in bed reading and then you have to get up and then switch off the light by the door and then go back to bed. Like, what was the point of putting that night light there in the first place? That makes no sense. I mean, first world problems, but it's a bit annoying. Like when you're doing such renovations, because we didn't appreciate that literally every single square centimeter of this house we need to redo, and we have been like redoing.
And there's several questions about each square centimetre of that house. There's 10, 15, 20 decisions to make on each of those sections. You just get fatigued.
Absolutely. Which leads me on actually to project managing like a project like that. That is such a God gift, like insane. I've had moments where I've had like 4 or 5 tradespeople from different trades in the house, each of them asking me questions at the same time. And I'd be just like reaching a point, and reach that point very quickly, about 15 minutes into the conversation, like, just do this, do that. I don't care. Just do it. You decide, whatever. I can't make that decision right now. And actually having a project manager to take care of this, to have like the list of these decisions that have already been made, to like reiterate those decisions to the tradespeople, and instead of you having forgotten your own decision, because that's what happens usually, having to like decide it yet again. Oh no, it's just makes a world of a difference. It's so worth it.
Do you think that's something else, if you were to take on a project like this, you'd look at employing a project manager?
Yeah.
Were you under the impression that your builder would have made more of those decisions when you contracted him? Or not necessarily verbally spoken, but maybe a slight assumption? Because I think that happens quite a lot.
I think, well, yes and no. So I definitely counted on a lot of the tradespeople to make decisions based on their experience and just like say, this is the best decision you could take, do this. And to be fair, I've been quite lucky with that because most of the tradespeople we've worked with have been extremely experienced and have given really good advice, from our gas engineer to our tiler to our electrician, builder as well. Like they would just solve the problem before coming to us more often than not. But of course, there's some more like aesthetic decisions or purely like how you function in your own life decisions that they need to ask. And if you haven't lived in that house also, that is a big thing. If it's a new house that you haven't got the flow of yet, that you haven't experienced for yourself for long enough to know what you need and how you're going to work with it, then it's a bit of a just like lucky guess. Yeah. Where am I putting that switch? Where am I putting that light? Let's throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks kind of thing. Yeah. Which is why at the end of it, you're like, oof, if I would do this again, I would do this. But yeah.
That famous question we never ask, but are always told the answer to. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the lighting and the switches, more thought and time spent behind that. Or a plan, or having someone who perhaps asks you the questions and walks you through it room by room. Because I imagine it's not just the office come bedroom. It's you mentioned some of the switches in the kitchen and other areas.
I think having like a set plan would have helped. And that's completely on me. Like our electrician's been nothing but accommodating. He's lovely. But just having like a set plan where I have like written everything down, kind of like, you know, a project manager has. I've written everything down in stone and like, these are the decisions we've made, probably even like a bit of a reasoning why we've made these decisions at the time. And then this is just like on the wall framed. This is what we're doing. This is the project. So we can reference that throughout the project. Instead, we didn't have that. I had some like flying post-it notes and which got lost. So eventually we were just making these decisions over and over and over again and probably making different decisions as well, which was confusing for all the trades. So we were being like the worst client, you know. We got there in the end. It's all right.
So having gone through this process and considering what we do, how do you think your experiences are going to impact how you hand over to our projects team, or some of the considerations? Have you thought about how that might change? And on Andrea's face, he's like, I haven't considered that at all. Didn't realise this was a review meeting.
I didn't know this was, okay, so you mean like my experience, how I can relate that to work. I didn't think that I could relate it to work.
Oh, you also didn't think that work could relate to your project at the time?
I thought I knew it all at the time, and then I've learned that I didn't. I don't know if I'm going to do anything different more than just make sure I've taken my notes. And I think that's the most important thing. Just take the notes, apply, like take down the reasoning of why that decision was made as well. So at a later stage, when the client turns around and is like, why is this decision made? Why did we make this decision? We can be like, because you thought about this and you thought about that, which is why you make this decision. And they can be like, oh, okay. Or be like, oh no, our priorities have changed. We need to make an amendment. And obviously pass that on to the technical team to make sure that they're aware of all this. Make sure all these notes are available at any point throughout.
So my response got lost then as well. But I think having worked with you for so long, the fact that you've made some of those comments about the notes and stuff in your own project take me by surprise, because you're very good at finding your notes on all of your clients. And
can I just point out?
No one else is ever going to be able to.
So I like to take my notes
everywhere.
In these beautiful notebooks. Very regimented.
Yeah. So it's the difference between being able to apply it in a kind of a framework and your working life, and then being able to translate that over to your personal life as well. Yeah. I think everyone has that kind of
I should have been more at work really throughout. Did you feel like when you were doing your own renovations, did you feel a bit like, ugh, I am one of these worst clients? Like, why am I so disorganized?
Oh yeah, completely.
I can't make a single decision.
I can't make any decisions because I'm done with decisions. Also, when you spend time at home, I was definitely one of the worst. I had my moments. So when you spend time at home at the weekend and then your other half, you've been relied on to make the decisions. And then your other half questions why you made that decision. And for you, you're thinking, because I had 4 people asking me questions at the same time, a baby screaming, and I hadn't eaten in 6 hours. So I just made the decision.
Yeah.
Like I
Sometimes
maybe,
that's the best you
maybe
can.
we did discuss it, but I didn't know that because someone moved the Post-it note or didn't make the note, as discussed with Tom. But when Tom did my build, I'm going to say that there were a couple of Sunday mornings where he got some really unpleasant messages. And I got a response to one saying, well, that was lovely to wake up to. I had no one else to vent to. And I think from ourselves, we understand that things do go wrong, and we really do want to give a good service, and we're all humans, so sometimes things do go wrong, but we are the only people have to vent to. And just because they vented to you and they've got frustrated in a moment doesn't mean that the whole thing has gone south and everything is hated. It's taxing physically and emotionally going through that kind of renovation. So yeah, it's a whole process, and I definitely did feel like there were moments where I was 100% the worst client. So yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of understanding and empathy.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. When we started this project with my husband, I remember we were, we previously lived in an apartment in a new build. We're like, never again. Can't even like put a picture up properly. Everything just falls off the walls, because obviously new builds are made with plasterboard walls. They're a bit, different build. We're like, we want a solid house, fixer upper, something we can put our energy and our character into. And now we've reached a point where we're like, I just want a new build, something that is like turnkey. I can maybe paint the walls, maybe not, we'll see. But that is all I'm doing for the next house. I don't care. New, sparkling, putting my slippers on. That's it. So ask me again in a couple of years.
Yeah, in a couple of years when you've settled into it. And yeah. But I mean, after you've done this, surely this is now your family home for the foreseeable.
Well, see, that is the thing. So when we bought this house, we thought it will be our house for maybe the next 10 years. So we had to compromise on a few things in order to get other things that we couldn't otherwise. One of which was a driveway, which actually was quite a big thing for my husband. But he was like, let's just have a look at the houses without a driveway and see what we can find. And this one doesn't. It's on top of a hill. So with the building works, you can imagine like our poor builders were like wheelbarrowing up and down that hill, like every single brick. It was a lot, bless them. But because of this and a few other bits, we thought that maybe we'll live there for too long. We'll see. We've poured a lot into it, so we'll see how it's going to get on. And obviously,
time disappears.
Life, time, family dynamics, everything changes. So yeah, maybe it will be for the foreseeable future. Maybe it wouldn't be just a few years. Or maybe we'll be so done with it by the time we're done with it. We'll be like, I don't want to look at this house anymore. Let's just sell it and move on.
For me, 10 years, foreseeable future. I've seen beyond 10 years. I haven't got that covers it for me. So in terms, I said the good as well. So we focused on the frustrations. What are the parts of, can you see anything that you think you properly, yes, I nailed that. I love this.
I love my kitchen. I have a dishwasher now. I feel so grown up. I love it. It is amazing.
Do you use it daily?
Yeah, twice a day sometimes. I just love clicking the buttons. But also, I don't know, it changes everything. All my pots used to be like, okay, that's just telling on me a little bit now because I'm not very good at washing dishes. But they used to have like a little grimy like on the outside of them. Like I just could not get them clean. And probably because like you can't use boiling hot water. I mean, you can, anyway, you get what I'm saying. But then with the dishwasher, with our new dishwasher, you get sparkling pots. And it was like, oh my God, they look brand new. And anyway, that was amazing. 2, my ovens. I got 2 ovens because I decided to spoil myself and because I got a good deal on them. Thanks, Liz. So the ovens are fantastic. I love the induction hob. Everything boils so quickly. It's amazing. We had like a awful little gas hob before that it would take ages for a pot of water to boil. Now it's like almost instant, which is what? I love the fact that the kitchen is in yellow. I love our funky tiles. I love that it's very bright in there as well. It's a big space. I love that my kid gets to run around now the island, just open and close the doors and just, you know, start building these little memories in that lovely space that we built ourselves. And yesterday I was putting up some laundry in the extension bit, just like on the drying horse, you know, and I was saying to my husband, like, do you remember like a year ago, we used to do the same thing, but this was like a leaky, half-built sort of conservatory from the 80s that everything was rusting and flooding. And now it's like a part of our house. And that's amazing. We never thought we were going to get here. It just seemed impossible. That was amazing. The new floor of the house works a lot better, I think. It's so much more inviting, brighter, social. The colors of it all as well. I love it. I love that. I was pretty much given free reign on the colors, especially upstairs. I could go with like dark and moody or bright and pretty and just make it really interesting, different. Yeah. Something that one day if someone's scrolling through Rightmove would notice and be like, oh, wait, that's cool.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. Fun. Is there any other points you think you want to share, having completed your own renovation, thinking you had a good grasp of what the project would hold?
I would say, and my advice to clients would always be just arm yourself with a ton of patience. A ton of patience. If there is any chance you can be somewhere else, go that place whilst the renovation's going on. And just enjoy the little victories along the way, because that's what keeps you going. Otherwise, it just gets a lot. So just the little things.
I think those are 3 really good points. And I'm just going to
gained a lot of wisdom.
A lot of wisdom. I'm going to just add that onto the bottom of all of our quotes. Yeah, required. So, well, thank you very much for joining us.
This felt like an interview. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know, it was more like an
Thanks for
interview.
having me.
So thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you in our next episode.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment. We would love to hear from you and questions and topics for us to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you.